How was zero created? We created numbers to count how many things there are, but when there is nothing at all, can that still be called a number? Long ago, people often wondered, is zero a number? If there are no dogs at all, is 0 dogs truly a number? Today it feels obvious, but long ago the idea of zero was unfamiliar. When people wanted to express that nothing was there, it felt more natural simply to say that something did not exist. A number does not only mean a count. It also includes numbers that we use in calculations, such as addition and multiplication. If zero was thought of only as a count, it meant the same as nothing. So for a long time, it was not accepted as a number. However, once zero became part of calculations, it brought new questions to mathematicians. Even the great mathematician Blaise Pascal thought, if we subtract 4 from 0, the result is still 0. He believed that when there is nothing, nothing can be taken away. What happens if we divide 1 by 0? Let us imagine there is a number a. Dividing 1 by 0 would mean that a multiplied by 0 becomes 1. But whenever we multiply any number by 0, the result is always 0. This leads to the strange conclusion that 1 would become equal to 0. Because 0 could disrupt the order of mathematics, modern mathematics does not allow division by 0. Then why do we need 0, even though it is so difficult to handle? The biggest reason is that we can express all numbers with only a small set of symbols. Today, we can create very large numbers using only the digits from 0 to 9. But in ancient Egypt, a different symbol was used for each place value. For example, 10 was written as a horseshoe shape, 100 as a coiled rope, and 1000 as a lotus flower. As numbers grew larger, more symbols were needed, so the system became more and more complicated. In the Maya civilization, a number system that used 0 already existed. However, that 0 was closer to a symbol that showed an empty place. It was not really a number used in calculations. It mainly marked a position. Because of this, 0 was still not fully accepted as a number. The place where 0 finally became established as a number was India. In India, 0 was used as a symbol that shows place value, and written calculation with numbers became widely used. For example, when we add 10 and 15, we calculate 0 and 5 in the ones place. Through this process, 0 naturally came to be accepted as a number. Once 0 began to function as a number, mathematics developed quickly. In particular, algebra and calculus became far more precise with the introduction of 0. Then, what does 0 mean in our everyday lives today? First, 0 shows an empty place. In numbers such as 100 or 2001, 0 fills a position in the number. Second, it is used to express the state of having nothing. Third, it also serves as a reference point. For example, it separates temperatures above and below 0, and it marks the starting line at 0 meters. This means that 0 can be both a boundary and a starting point. In nature, 0 also has an important meaning. 0 degrees Celsius is the temperature at which water begins to freeze, a familiar reference point for us. In physics and chemistry, scientists use absolute temperature measured in Kelvin. Minus 273.16 degrees Celsius corresponds to 0 Kelvin, and no temperature exists below it. As temperature becomes lower, the motion of atoms slows down, and at absolute 0, it almost stops. In this state, the volume of a gas approaches 0. However, in reality, a gas turns into a liquid or a solid, so it never truly becomes 0. 0 once meant complete emptiness. Today, it plays an important role in explaining the limits and reference points of nature. It has become a key concept for understanding our world through mathematics and science.